calling out China for a map that just expanded Beijing's territory. And all is not lost for Gilas Pilipinas when it comes to the Olympics. One FIBA official lays down the winning roadmap for the Philippine national team. Fast, focused, and fearless, here's a roundup of the stories we're watching now. I'm Dani Laurel. 3 storms are still enhancing the southwest monsoon or the Habagat, bringing rains over parts of the country. PAGASA last spotted severe tropical storm Hannah, some 1,035 kilometers east of extreme northern Luzon. It is packing winds of 110 kilometers per hour and gustiness of up to 135 kilometers per hour. Hannah is forecast to gradually intensify and reach its peak power by Saturday or Sunday. However, it will remain far from the Philippine landmass and may exit PAR on Saturday. As for Super Typhoon Goring, it was located some 420 kilometers west of Itbayat, Batanes, outside of PAR. Severe tropical storm Kirogi, meantime, is still outside the Philippine area of responsibility. It is located 3,140 kilometers east of southeastern Luzon. So far, PAGASA does not see Kirogi entering the country. Together, Hannah, Goring, and Kirogi are triggering the Habagat, which means occasional to monsoon rains in the next 3 days. Most parts of Luzon could experience periodic heavy downpours, while the rest of the country may expect isolated rains. The State Weather Bureau says Metro Manila and some portions of the country can expect a wet weekend. In an interview with us here on One News Now, PAGASA weather forecaster Altzar Aurelio said that the intensified southwest monsoon will persist. That means more rains in the next few days. Intermittent downpours will be experienced in Metro Manila and the western parts of Luzon, so everyone is advised to keep their rain gear handy.
Magtatagal pa ang epekto ng habagat sa ating bansa mula ngayon at hanggang sa susunod na 5 araw. Dahil pa sa malakas ng hangin dahil sa habagat, halos buong seaboard ng Luzon and Visayas ay under ng gale warning. Na ibig sabihin ay may inaasa natin matataas ng alon, kaya bawal pong pumalaot ating mga kababayan.
In other news, at least 15 people were killed in a fire that ravaged a house-turned-printing press in Tandangsora, Quezon City this morning. 11 of the fatalities were stay-in workers, while the other 4 victims included the owner, a 3-year-old child, the owner's mother, and household help. According to the Fire Bureau, the house was a fire trap, while the printing press did not have the proper permits to operate. An investigation is underway to determine the cause of the blaze. Here are the day's other top stories. The Justice Department has suspended the implementation of revised guidelines for outbound Filipino travelers. This is on the back of 2 Senate resolutions that found the tweaked overseas travel requirements too burdensome. Recall that the Interagency Council Against Trafficking came out with a seemingly stricter guidelines for overseas trips, including subjecting travelers to longer questioning from immigration and airport officers. The Commission on Elections will hold a special election to replace the ousted Negros Oriental 3rd District Representative Arnie Teves. The polls will take place on December 9th with voting hours from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Aspirants may file their certificates of candidacy from November 6 to 8, with the official campaign period slated from November 9 to December 7. Just this month, Teves was ousted as congressman for abandonment of public office and disorderly behavior. He also faces a string of criminal charges for the killing of Negros Oriental Governor Roel Degamo and other Negrenses. The Supreme Court has fired the former policeman who recently figured in a road rage incident. The High Tribunal said Willie Gonzalez was a coterminous employee in the Office of Associate Justice Ricardo Rosario. His employment was immediately terminated upon the discovery of a viral video. In that clip dated August 8, Gonzalez was seen assaulting a cyclist, even pulling a gun at the victim in Quezon City. The Senate is set to investigate that incident. We will be bringing you more stories after this quick break. Keep it here on One News. Thanks for staying us here on One News Now. I'm Danny Laurel. Now, the Foreign Affairs Department has rejected China's publication of a new map that included parts of the West Philippine Sea. In a statement, the DFA said the map lacks any basis under international law. It added the 2016 arbitral ruling has already invalidated Beijing's so-called 9-dash line. Other nations are also calling out China. Malaysia said it does not recognize Beijing's map that featured the country's exclusive economic zone of Sabah and Sarawak states. Now, for its part, India is also protesting the Chinese map that is laying claim over the South Asian nation's territory. China earlier said the release of the map was just a routine practice and that relevant sides should refrain from, quote, over-interpreting the issue. Moving on, the recipients for this year's Ramon Magsaysay Awards are out. Filipina peace negotiator and Professor Miriam Coronel Ferrer is among the awardees. She's recognized for emphasizing, quote, the important role that women play in inclusive peace building. The highly prestigious award-giving body also acknowledged 3 other personalities from different fields. These are Corvi Rakshan from Bangladesh for education, Ravi Kanan from India for healthcare, and Eugenio Lemos from Timor-Leste for food sovereignty. The Ramon Magsaysay Award is considered as Asia's premier prize and highest honor. Speaking of awards, Signal TV would like to thank the Makatao Awards for recognizing our own hosts and shows this year. Here's a recap of that event. The Makatao Awards for Media Excellence recognize Signal TV shows and personalities. The Professional Management Association of the Philippines, or PMAP, bestows the honor to members of the mass media who advocate good people management.
Ang goal ng award ay mabigyan karangalan ang mga kaibigan natin, mga katrabaho natin sa media upang ipakita sa tao kung gaano kaimportansya ang mga programa na ito at paano ito nakakaapekto sa pamumuhay ng ating mga kapwa Pilipino.
The Chiefs bagged the Best TV Public Affairs Program hosts. Last year, Signal's homegrown talk program won Best Public Affairs Show as anchored by News 5 Chief Luchi Cruz Valdez, the Philippine Star's Editor-in-Chief Ami Pamintuan, and seasoned journalists Robbie Alampay and Ed Lingao.
I think there's the misconception that talk shows and public affairs shows are about commentaries lang. No, we think not. We'd like to think that it's about asking the right questions and challenging questionable answers.
This year, the Best Public Affairs Show went to Gretchen Ho's Woman in Action.
Gusto ko lang magpasalamat sa Signal TV kasi naniwala sila sa idea, sa vision ng programa. Pagpapatuloy namin, hopefully, mas lalo pang gumanda yung editorial, yung pagsusulat at saka yung pagkwento para mas marami pa tayong maabot at marami pa tayong maipakilala sa ating audiences.
Other Signal hosts were nominated as well. For Best Public Affairs Show hosts, election program Short Take anchors Ed Lingao, Patrick Paes, Manny Mogato, Regina Lay, and Jovi Francisco. And for news presenters, Cheryl Cosim and Jay Taruk. TV5 also won big in the annual Makatawa Awards. Frontline Tonight received this year's award for Best Newscast.
Sa huli kasi, Makatawa Awards dahil sa huli, news is about the public. It's not about us in the news. It's about serving the public. Kaya bagay na bagay yung Makatawa Awards.
Radio 5 got Radio Station of the Year, and Alagang Kapatid was named Best Radio Program. And the Kapatid Network got the biggest award of the day, TV Station of the Year. The Makatao Awards also brought together media practitioners to celebrate the legacy of one of their own, the late Mike Enriquez. Enriquez was honored with a posthumous award for his contribution to Philippine mass media. And in sports, one FIBA executive says the Philippines has more than one way to qualify for the Paris Olympics next year. FIBA Executive Director David Crocker explains Gilas can just aim to be the best Asian team by winning their 2 classification matches since the national team has already been eliminated from World Cup contention. Gilas faces South Sudan tonight and China on Saturday. The top Asian team in the World Cup automatically gets an Olympic berth. But if this plan does not materialize as well, there's always the Olympic qualifiers, which will happen after the FIBA World Cup. 12 teams will be featured in Olympic basketball next year, but 8 are already taken, including the spot of host country France.
And you have a couple of tough games ahead of you, but you absolutely can still qualify to Paris 2024. Every single point counts. So you will see teams with 15 seconds left and there might be still a margin trying to score. Because at the end of the day, if we have a tie for win-loss record, it comes down to the point ratio. So there is always a path. The most direct is to leave here with more wins than any other Asian nation. So that's the job at hand right now.
One News Now will be back tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. I'm Danny Laurel. We are One News, all sides, all the time.